alive. Let's go.
12 seconds later.
I just hit the blazer again. This poor truck. We are back on the 1957 Chevy LS Swap Delete. I put an LS in this thing like a year ago. It has never ran right. It's been nothing but issues. So a couple weeks ago, we yanked it out, basically threw it in the trash. And we have a 327 in it now. It's a Corvette hot rod motor that me and my dad built like 15 years ago. It's oversized, big pistons, all the good stuff. And it's been sitting for a while, and this engine is like his baby. We got it in there. I got it fired up for the first time in a very, very long time. And then I had to order a bunch of parts. No big deal. That happens whenever you have several cars in the shop. So I was just waiting on parts. The videos you are going to see next is my dad coming in here and just starting to mess with stuff because this engine is his baby. Even though we're waiting on all kinds of stuff, he got the radiator mounted, he got radiator hoses, he was like running back and forth to the parts store, he got started on the exhaust, he got the fan wired up, he got all this stuff done where he was like, listen, you can't start it too long, it'll blow up. I started it for literally 5 seconds. He's like, no, you just, I know you're gonna let it overheat. So he has been working on this thing like crazy. Right now, he's got the exhaust down to about, I don't know, the middle of the seat, and whenever we show that footage, the next footage is gonna be me digging in, trying to finish the exhaust out the rest of the way. We still have a long way to go before this thing is drivable, but the goal is by the end of this video, we're going to be taking this old girl for a spin with her new 327. Perfect traditional hot rod type build. I love this car so much. Let's get to work, and hopefully the video ends with me driving it and I didn't just say all that and we hit another setback. Let's not do that. Oh, I'll be honest with you. I hate exhaust. It's such a pain in the ass, especially when you don't have a lift. I got the car jacked up pretty damn high, and Dad got most of the work done. He got the stuff coming off of the headers. He got a new muffler down there, and then I'm just going back. But even then, a giant pain in the ass. Take them to exhaust shops. They can do full exhaust for like $200 or $300. I'm just going to get some stuff up there so that it's better than it's going to be. I don't want to smell it. Before I had this exhaust, it came out basically right at the door, maybe a little bit behind the door, and you just smelled it all the time. I'm going to plan on having new exhaust done on this, but I still want to get them out, at least out of the rear wheel, so that's my goal for right now. I've been under there messing with it, trying to get it ready. I'm not even close to being done. I just wanted to stop and bitch a little bit because I hate it so freaking much. It's just the most annoying thing ever. Also, I'm using 3-inch pipe, which is just dumb. It's so much bigger than it needs to be, so it makes everything that much trickier. But we're almost buttoned up now. I want to get this the rest of the way done so I can start working on the transmission lines and whatnot. But yeah, I just needed to take a little break and say, this sucks. Let's keep going. Oh, I just take a nap down here. What a bitch this was. Whatever you do, Richard, don't zoom in on them welds. Don't do it. Don't be a dickhead. It's hard to weld under a car. All right, exhaust is done. It's not completely out, but it goes out past the rear tire, which is way better than it was before. It used to come out right here. I actually saw the mount. And we got 3-inch going all the way back. So that'll work for now until I take it to an exhaust shop. The plan is to actually have it go all the way out to the rear bumper, but that'll be fine for what we're doing here. I am going to try and run my transmission lines. Before, I had a transmission cooler up front of this radiator, but this radiator actually has transmission coolant lines on it. I don't know why we didn't use those. Not sure, but that's what I'm going to try. If that doesn't work, then we'll bring them up front. Also, Dad came in here, did a bunch of work. He got our brand new valve covers and air cleaner put on. They look slick. Damn, that looks good. He also made a battery box. I wouldn't have done that. I would have put the battery up here, but that's fine. That's his choice, I guess. Whatever. He is so protective about this engine. Me and him built this engine like 15 years ago. I've told the story 100 times, but even though we got to fire up, he's just like, well, let's make sure. We got to make sure we do this. Let's make sure we do this. I started it for like literally 10 seconds. He goes, that's too much. We got to get the radiator. So he came in here and mounted the radiator one day just on his own and then told me about it. I tried to set up a camera. I don't even know if I got the footage, but yeah, he made these mounts and he was so proud of them. He goes, yeah, we just need to put sheet metal here. And I said, that's how it was mounted before. I have the pieces. He goes, what do you mean? I said, I have metal pieces that go there. I have the bars too. You didn't have to make any of this. So he thought I was lying. There they are. I said, no, they're right here. I said, I had all this. This was already done. So I don't know if I'm going to put those back or just make new ones. Before, we had to have this giant hole in it because obviously the LS swap had the ECU and all that stuff coming through there. I don't need that anymore. So I might just make these from scratch now because I can put my own bead rolling, whatever design I want to do. So I don't know, we might do that. But for now, let's see if we can get the transmission lines hooked up. Oh, also, before I did not have a speedometer plug, so I put about a quart of transmission fluid in it, and it came out as fast as it came out as fast as it went in. So I got the right plug now. We can get that plugged up too. So let's work on the bitch while she's up in the air. Let's go. All right, started messing with the transmission lines. I remember why we didn't use the lines that were built into the radiator. Those fittings are not right. They won't bite into the aluminum, and I actually was like, oh, this is threaded wrong. They sent me another one. This is the second radiator. The second one did the same thing. They don't grab enough the way they weld them in. I think it's just a mistake, and we always had leaks there. I completely forgot about it because we put that radiator in a year ago with the LS. So that is why we went with the external transmission cooler up here, and I also forgot that I welded up some fittings. I'm not gonna do that. I can buy brand new fittings for like 10 bucks. They just take a day or two to get here, and at the time we were like ready to roll. That's why I welded them up. I went ahead and ordered those. They'll be here tomorrow. I think I'm getting my drive shaft back tomorrow too, so I'm gonna call it a night, and then tomorrow we'll come in, finish up the transmission lines, put the drive shaft in, and basically start wiring stuff up. We have the gas tank put in, brand new tank, but it still needs a bunch of stuff ran from it. I need brand new fuel lines, brand new fuel hose, all that still needs installed. So I think if we get all that done tomorrow, we should be able to put her on the ground and fire it up. Dad threw the tank in the other day, and I actually thought he did it backwards because he said he couldn't get the filler neck to hook up right. Well, he had it in right, he just didn't have the filler neck hooked up right, and I tweaked it a little bit, and I think we're good now. So brand new tank, brand new everything. I'll have all new lines, brand new fuel pump, everything will be ready to go, but we just have to get it up in there, mount it, run the fuel lines, and then basically rewire everything. Whenever I took the LS out, I kept all the wiring for all the headlights and stuff, so that's all still there, but obviously we have no wiring on the new engine, the new fuel tank. None of that is even hooked up, so we'll have to do a bunch of wiring, but we're getting close, baby. Oh, I can't wait to take this thing for a drive with the old 327 little fire breather in there. But I'm basically handcuffed until I get some parts, so hopefully the next video I start is with me having a bunch of parts ready.
The next day.
We are back. I was going to take today off and then work Monday, because Monday I'm getting the fittings for the transmission lines. I should also be able to pick up the drive shaft on Monday. The problem is, tomorrow, Monday, we have a heat advisory warning. The heat index is 118 here in Missouri. So even when I work at nights, that's a little bit ridiculous. So I'm going to come in here and do some little stuff so that hopefully tomorrow, I really just need to put the drive shaft in and be ready to go. I have my new fuel pump. I have my fuel line I need to run. I also have the rubber line flexible hose. I did run into a problem that I realized. My dad did not attach a fuel line to the gas tank, and it is right in the middle of the tank. So I'm gonna have to drop the tank to get the fuel line on. There's no way I can get my hand up in there to do it. So that might have all just been pointless, but we'll see. I don't know. Let's crawl under there and see what we can do. Then I'm gonna run my new fuel line. I wanna try and run it inside the frame rail if possible, and I can have it pop up right over here, coming out there, going straight to the carb, but I don't know. That's the plan. Shit happens, plans change. Let's find out. Fuel line is ran. I got it all tucked up underneath the air cleaner real nice. Can't see it. Runs down the bell housing, behind the firewall, through the fender, and then down all the body mounts and to the gas tank. Very happy. That was trickier than it needed to be, but it is done and it is nice. Now we're going to be moving on to the sheet metal work. Now some guys think, you know, since I'm just a dude in a random small garage that I'm not techno savvy, I am super just technological. I mean, that's me when you think me. So we're going to be using some CAD software to design our sheet metal pieces up here. I'm a big fan of CAD design. What you got to do is you got to get out a scanner and you 3D scan these pieces. And then, no, it's completely full of shit. It's cardboard aided design. It's more my speed, but that looks perfect. And apparently whenever we mounted the radiator, we did it right because that mirror is exact to the other side, which usually they're off a little bit here and there, but it looks like it's going to work perfect. So I'm going to cut these out of sheet metal. I don't know if I'm going to do all the bead rolling and stuff tonight, but I do want to get them cut so I can at least get them sitting up there. And then what I'll have to do on this side is just make a little hole for my transmission lines to come out, but that shouldn't be too hard. So let's cut some shit, baby. Bada bing. Damn, that looks good. Let's go clean them up and get them on there. I'm not welding them tonight, but I want them sitting up there at least. Ooh, I like it. That came out awesome. I'm so happy I decided to just whip up some new ones instead of trying to reuse the old, rusty, broken original ones. They're just clamped on there right now, so they're not really straight, but they look bitchin'. Cool. I love that. We'll weld them in and get them painted tomorrow. Hopefully, the next video is me with a drive shaft and some transmission line fittings. And, boy, we can really start seeing what the hell's going to happen next once we get those installed. Yeah, we'll be back, baby.
The next day.
All right. We got all our parts in. Got the brand new drive shaft. Now, I don't know about you guys, but anytime I get a brand new drive shaft, I'm always nervous as hell because you hope that you measured everything perfectly, but you never really know until you get it bolted in there. We should be good, but I don't know. We had to go 2.5 inches longer than when it had the LS in it because the 6L80 transmission I had in it was huge compared to what's in it now, and we had to change the yoke out. We also got brand new U-joints on there. I think this one was still new, but we went ahead and put a new one in the rear. So, yeah, cross our fingers and hope that my tape measure was not wrong. Good news! It fits perfect. Ooh, and I apparently already tightened these up enough. Drive shaft is in, baby! Yes! All right, let's wire some shit. All right. I realized I didn't have my throttle cable on, so I had to find a bracket. It's a universal little shitty bracket that just took forever. Got that done. Got these metal plates welded in. They look awesome. Very happy with how those came out. I got my wires basically ran. I just need to finish up the key, but I got everything run into the cab so I can make that all work tomorrow. It is currently 1 in the morning and the heat index is still 95, so I'm just dripping in sweat. It's so hot right now in Missouri. But tomorrow we should be able to come in, finish up a little bit of wiring, throw the battery in it, go get gas for the gas tank, and start testing some shit. Drive shafts in. I got transmission fluid for the transmission. We should be able to fire it up, throw it in gear, and see what the hell happens. I'm going to start it on these jack stands just to make sure everything's okay. This is kind of an untested transmission. It's kind of a gamble. I think it's okay. The guy I got it from, he said it was all right. He was just upgrading to a bigger transmission, but we'll see. I'm still not, that's not tested by me, so I'm kind of curious. Ooh, she's getting close. I'm so fucking excited. I forgot we still need to weld in these panels I made yesterday, so I'm gonna grind the paint down, get those ready, get those welded, then we'll go ahead and start wiring stuff up. All right, I went and got gas. I got basically everything we need to get this baby running. I just gotta do a whole lot of wiring. We're gonna dive right into the wiring now. If I have time, I would also like to get some of my firewall holes filled. Obviously, where the heater used to go needs filled. The old washer, actually, I don't know what that one was. That might have been the heater hoses, and then there's your wipers. I need to close those up too. And then there's obviously a hole where the distributor is. So we still have a lot of sheet metal work that needs done, but I want to get the wiring all buttoned up first. So let's do that. Wiring is done. It's time to throw some gas in it and throw some transmission fluid in it and see what the hell happens. I'm getting excited, but also nervous as shit. We're gonna find out if this transmission is any good together. All right, has gas in it, has transmission fluid in it. I way overfilled it because the body was at a weird angle. I had the rear end like 2 foot higher than the front, so it was just the angle. Once I got it level, it was fine. But, you know, I can't add oil to anything without getting oil all over the floor. It's like part of the tradition now. And naturally, I get in here, fires right up. Won't fire up again. I started moving the distributor a little bit because it's still loose because we were still adjusting timing. Can't get it to even remotely try and fire. I checked for spark. I have fuel. I think maybe I just flooded it. I don't know. I'm going to get the old man down here tomorrow. Also, I realized I'm a little bit low on radiator fluid, so I need to get some coolant. I need to get, I don't know, it's about a half quart low. Not too bad, but it is a little low. So I'm going to get those and get the old man down here tomorrow to help me. We should be able to get it fired, throw it in gear. What I want to do, I want to make sure my wheels turn jacked up before I jack it down, put it on the ground, you know, try and go take it for a drive. I want to make sure everything works up here first, just in case I need to get under there and do something. Now would be the time to do it, obviously. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, and we're going to have some answers either way. That's for damn sure.
The next day.
All right, the old man got it running. Let's see what happens when we put it in gear. Oh, shit. Forgot about the brake master cylinder. That's not good. All right. Do we have brakes? Not great, but we got some. It's running so good now. Yes! All right, let's see. We have reverse! Reverse is important. Let's see if we have drive. Let's go! Yes! She's spinning, baby. Let's get it on the ground, see what happens. Naturally, we're fighting the daylight, but that's all right. We can take it out tomorrow if we have to, but I want to get it out a little bit tonight, see what happens. So, got all excited. Got the jack underneath it to get it jacked up, go outside, take it for a drive before it gets dark. I forgot that the wiring was all hanging down. My transmission lines are running across the exhaust because I didn't get any of that tied up. Had to do all that. Didn't get the transmission tunnel put back in. I got that put back in, got the carpet back in. The transmission cross member wasn't welded, so I had to weld that up. I completely forgot about all that shit. I got so excited about the engine running. But the good news is, pulled her straight outside. It's pitch black now, so we're not going to do anything. But tomorrow, I'm going to give it a wash, and we're going to take her for her first drive since we deleted the LS swap. I'm so excited. It already sounds better. It already feels better. The fact that we had issues yesterday and we fixed them in 3 minutes, that's just huge for me. Big fan. Like I've said before, I'm not anti-LS swaps. I was just anti that LS swap because I always had issues with it. It was never great. So much happier to have a 327 in the old girl. Tomorrow we drive. The LS is fully deleted. 327 old school Corvette engine that me and my dad built is in, and it's time to take her for a drive. I'm so fucking happy. This car has been sitting for like 6 months. The LS was just nothing but issues, and it's time we got some old school hot rod power in it. Let's take her for a spin. Oh shit, I don't have my keys. Come on, baby. I just hit the blazer again. This poor truck. Now we need to see if we can shift. So I don't know if I have my cable hooked up right. Oh shit. Ooh. Oh no, it died. No, what happened? What happened? No! I floored it and it died. It didn't that time. I don't love this carburetor. I was supposed to get a new one by now, but that's a different story. It ships! Yes! Yes, it ships! Oh no, I killed it again. Son of a bitch. We definitely have carburetor issues, but that's all right. I like that truck. Oh, she's got so much shit! Damn, this carb sucks. Definitely need a new carburetor. Definitely need a new carburetor. She's alive again, baby. Oh man, it sounds so good. Feels way better than it ever did with the LS. I'm so fucking happy. This thing, you know, as far as like, I don't know, coolness, speed, airbags, it doesn't compare to the CRX, but this is still my baby. I love 57 Chevys. They were my first car. I've probably said that 100 times, but the fact that I own a two-door hardtop is just cool as shit. I thought it was cool with an LS, don't get me wrong, I wasn't against it, but it just feels right having a, you know, 1960s 327 in it. There's nothing like super modern on this car. This is basically a traditional hot rod. I mean, old engine, old everything. We don't have airbags, we don't have a bunch of crazy shit. It's just a bitchin' old hot rod. Oh, I love it. I love it. Still got some stuff to do. Brakes are not great. I need to get a proportioning valve in there really bad because when I slam on the brakes, it just locks up the fronts. So need to get a proportioning valve. Need to work out a couple other things. It's smoking like crazy right now because the headers are black paint. So those are still have to burn off, but got some sheet metal work that needs done as well, but that's all little shit I'll do here and there. She's done. I'm gonna drive the shit out of this thing this summer. I want it to be my daily, and if I get a new carb and a couple of the brake shit sorted out, I don't think there's any reason why I won't. Holly was supposed to send me a carb over a month ago. I called them 20 different times asking about it, and they told me today I'll get it in another 3 weeks. So I said, fuck that, keep it. I don't want anything to do with you guys anymore, so we're just gonna buy one now. So that sucks. It's been like a 3-year partnership, but they just went to shit the last year. I think they've just gotten too big. They just don't care anymore. I've talked to a couple different guys that basically have the same story as me. Not only just content creators, but like average Joes. They don't seem to give a shit anymore, which is a bummer because I love Holly, but we are gonna go a different route. Oh, this thing makes me so fucking happy. All right, let's go drive it some more. That makes me happy. Fires right up. But when you floor it, it just has nothing. Well, it's not that it has nothing, it'll just die after you floor it. Actually has a lot of shit to it. I'm so fucking happy. With the hole in the firewall, I can smell it. That's great. Woo! and it died. Oh no. Don't do that. No, 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 no. Bastard. It runs! I'm so happy. You have no idea. This makes me happier than any of my other builds. This is my baby, and the LS swap was not my idea. I even said, the very first video we ever did on this, I said, I think it would be pretty cool to have an old 327 in it, maybe the original 283, but my customer wants an LS, so let's do the LS swap. Well, he ended up basically bailing on this. He wasn't a big fan of it. He had a couple other cars he was dealing with. His 55 and 56 are in my shop right now, and he knew his 55 was coming in, so he kind of just wanted to get rid of this to free up a little bit of money, a little bit of space, and I bought it basically 90% done, and couldn't pass it up. He made me a hell of a deal, but I never loved the LS. We never had it running right, just constant issues. I could maybe drive it a mile or two here or there, back and forth to my shop, and then I wouldn't have anything for like a month. Wouldn't start, wouldn't do anything. Damn thing left me stranded 3 or 4 different times. I had to have it towed one time. That was really bad. It just stayed on the side of the road for like 2 hours. I was freaking out. But anyways, all that is gone. I sat on this for probably 6 months. I wanted to swap an engine. I just knew it was gonna be a pain in the ass. Didn't have the right engine. Didn't know what I wanted to buy. If you don't know, the CRX motor is a 505 horsepower crate motor that I got, I think from ATK Engines. It was like 8 or 9 grand. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. So I was just kind of expecting to do all that. And then one day I got to talking to the old man. I said, hey, the 327 we built 15 years ago has been sitting. Let's put it in the 57. Let's do it. Now, I've said that to him 100 different times on 100 different projects. This time he said, you know what, that's a good idea. The only thing is, if he ever wants it back, we have to pull it. But I'm going to make sure he never wants it back. That's my goal. So happy, man. Just, it sounds great. It feels right. This is what it needed to have the whole time. And I could not be happier. Still have to do some stuff. Little stuff I'm going to probably do off camera. I won't make a full video on it. But we need to tweak a couple things. I don't know if the carburetor is dying whenever I floor it, or if I don't have enough gas. Because right now I have like 3 gallons of gas in it. So the gas could be sloshing around, I'm not sure, but it's probably the carburetor. Had a brand new carburetor coming from Holley, and they just screwed the whole deal up. And to be completely honest with you, they screwed up their last couple deals with me, so this is coming down. We're not going to be messing with that anymore. It's kind of been bad for a while, and I don't want it in my shop anymore. I already sent them an email, said I was done. Banner was coming down. I wasn't going to do this on camera, but now that I see it in the background, it's pissing me off. So yeah, we are done with them. It is sad to see what has happened with that company in the last few months. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just having problems. I've reached out to a couple other guys. They all seem to be having the same problems. So yeah, I don't think customers are a priority for them anymore, as weird as that says. So we need to get a new carburetor, but it could just be the gas. I do like that wall being open back there, I'll be honest with you. So I'm sure we're going to get another banner for somebody else. That's a different story for some stuff we have coming up. Really cool stuff on the CRX, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, oh, I love it. I'm so happy. Please hit that subscribe button if you got this far in the video. It helps my channel grow a bunch. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, comment, all that good shit they tell you at the end of videos, and check out some of my other videos. Peace. I love you, and I love that.